What's up, guys? Your boy DeAndre, and you're here on Between the Lines. Between the Lines is going to be a show when I talk about sports. That's my main focus on this show, and I also want to talk about music and what's going on in the world. That'll be towards the end of the show. Sometimes I bring guests to talk about that stuff, but mainly this whole podcast is going to be talking about sports and like what's going on in the world with the sports world. So this podcast, I'm going to talk about the NBA because that's like the only news that we're getting lately. And I was going to talk about if I think the NBA should come back, but it looks like it's coming back July 22nd. So I was like, I need a new topic. So I'm going to talk about the 15 teams on the East, and how I feel about those teams. So here we go. The 76ers. I feel like, I like the 76ers. I feel like they have two top 15, top 20 players in the league, and I feel like they can get it done. But also at sometimes they don't look like they can play together. Like they don't look like neither one of them look like they want to win. They just playing, and like they both have superstar talent. But they don't have that hunger. They don't have the hunger to get better. And like you got Ben Simmons, he doesn't want to shoot. And you got Joel Embiid, he just complains too much. He has so much on-court antics, and like sometimes it doesn't look like he takes the game serious. But I feel like if both of them take the game serious, get that hunger, this team can be scary because you can't stop neither one of them when they doing that shit. Like Ben Simmons, you can't stop him on the transition. You can't stop him. He's too big, too fast. On defense, he's gonna strap you up. You're not going nowhere. One of the best defenders in the league, along with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, you can't stop him in a low post. You can't. And when he takes it serious, you can't stop him in a low post. His footwork is second to none. Joel Embiid, they both need that hunger. But I feel like if this team doesn't get past the second round, you gotta split them up. It's obviously not working. They've been playing for 3 years together, and it's been so much commotion between them. Like you don't know. I don't even know if they like each other. Like they don't seem like the two pair. They don't seem like they even want to play with each other sometimes. But I don't know who I would pick to trade if they was to get bounced out early, because I feel like they should do that. If they get bounced out early, you got to trade one and build around one. I don't know, because like if you put the right pieces around both of them, they can be superstars. I can't really tell you who's better between them. I don't know. They both great players. They both have superstar talent. They just take the game serious. They both have superstar talent. So I feel like if you want to, just put some shooters around them. See if it can work for them for one more year. But if it doesn't, you gotta trade one of them. So I don't know. We'll see what Elton Brand does with them, and hopefully they can start winning some more. Next I want to talk about the Bucks. The Bucks have arguably the best player in the world, arguably the MVP 2 years in a row. I think he is best player on the best team. I think he's MVP. Then you got some good stars next to him, and Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Eric Bledsoe. But how I feel about this team is I feel like they need a better point guard, because they need a point guard that can score and close and consistent and has playoff experience. I think they need to go get Chris Paul. We seen Eric Bledsoe in the playoffs get outplayed by Terry Rozier. Not downplaying Terry Rozier's talent. I'm just saying Eric Bledsoe should not be getting outplayed by Terry Rozier. Eric Bledsoe is a borderline all-star in the regular season. He should not get outplayed. He should not be getting outplayed by him. And he's one of the best defenders in his league, and he couldn't guard Terry Rozier. And he couldn't hit a shot last year in the playoffs. He could not hit a three. I was watching every game of them. I was so mad that he kept shooting threes. He could not hit a three. And Chris Middleton and Giannis, they haven't really been real consistent in the playoffs. They do for the first 2 rounds, but when they face a real team, you can see like there's a lot of holes in their game. They get exposed a lot. Last year, Giannis got exposed by Kawhi the whole second half of that series, and Chris Middleton was just inconsistent to the last game. So I feel like if they get a great point guard, I think they should get Chris Paul. He's the one of the best players in the clutch. I think if you look at his stats, he is the best player in the cut, and he got that young team to the 5th seed in the playoffs. I want to say on the West side, they was not supposed to make the playoffs at all, and he got them up there. I feel like if you get Chris Paul and this team that's an automatic championship to me. They this good. They're this good without a closer that can close the game. They just blow teams out, so they never really need a closer. They don't know that they need a closer in the playoff, but they don't need one in the regular season. They blow people out so much. But if they was to get a Chris Paul next to a Giannis, pick and rolls, oh my gosh, I can just imagine it right now, man. It would be crazy. But I feel like the pieces they got around Giannis are great though. Ersan Ilyasova, George Hill, Dante DiVincenzo, Brook Lopez. Like he's almost in the defensive player of the year ratings. Votings, and he's probably gonna get some votes on the defensive all team. So I feel like they got some good pieces around Giannis. They just need to get that playoff experience and understand like it's time to turn it up in the playoffs and play more consistent in the playoffs. But I feel like this team, they're good. They just gotta get it done in the playoffs. But that's enough for them. Now I'm gonna talk about the Cavs. So me personally, I like the Cavs. And you're probably like, what the fuck? You like the Cavs? Nah, I just like the Cavs because they have two of my favorite players I've been watching since high school, and Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. So I just followed them all the way up to the NBA and the pros. And I feel like the Cavs, I don't know their direction. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know their direction. They just have so much old players that's established in this league, but they just don't trade them. And like it seems like they're trying to build with this young team, but you're keeping these old players that's getting in the way of these players' development. You got Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. They have to give the ball up to Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, Andre Drummond sometimes because they need to get theirs. They need to get theirs because Kevin Love, he wants to get traded. Andre Drummond wants to get paid, which I feel like they should not pay him at all. But I feel like they are going to pay him. Tristan Thompson, he wants to get traded or paid. So like they always got to force feed them because they sometimes they play a selfish game. And it gets in the way of the development of the young players. And Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Kevin Porter, Cedi Osman, Larry Nance get in the way of them sometimes. So I feel like they just gotta know that they're in rebuild mode. They're trying to make the playoffs as the 8th seed sometimes. They're like, you can't do that. You gotta get rid of these players, man. You gotta get rid of these old players and get pieces back, valuable pieces back, so your rebuild can be faster. And you gotta get rid of these players while their value is still up. Because I'm telling you, Andre Drummond, his value's up, but for $30 million, he's not getting that. It's only a couple centers in the league that should get $30 million. I'm not gonna go into that, but he's definitely not worth that. Tristan Thompson, a great center. I like Tristan Thompson better than Andre Drummond. I feel like he just knows his role. I've seen Andre Drummond come to the Cavs and try to play this point forward role. He'll get the rebound and start running off with the basketball, and then sometimes he'll try to shoot threes. Like, that's not you. You're not like that. So I just feel like they got to cut the ties with the old guys, trade them, and just embrace this rebuild mode, because they have some great young pieces. I seen Colin Sexton. He's a 20-point per game scorer, one of the most underrated players in the league to me, and that's no bias. I just feel like it's other sophomores that get talked about so much, but he gets diminished because they say, oh, he can't pass. But like he passes, it's just not as consistent as other players do, because you got a Luka, Trae Young, fucking all-stars. So like they're point guards, they're real point guards. Colin Sexton to me is a shooting guard. But I'm not going to get into that. That's another episode. I'm going to do an episode about most underrated players and my thoughts. So I just feel like this team needs a better direction, and they need to embrace the rebuild like other teams have done and succeeded in. But next I'm going to talk about the Hornets. The Hornets, I don't know where they're going either. I'm not going to lie. Because I feel like they have a lot of young talent. Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, Malik Monk, PJ Washington. They got a lot of young talent, but like Michael Jordan is a terrible GM. They're so wrapped up in these old contracts. Nicholas Batum's getting paid $25 million. Bismack Biyombo is getting paid 18. Cody Zeller is getting paid 15. And like they just so wrapped up in these big contracts that they really can't do nothing because nobody's gonna take Nicholas Batum for $25 million. So they're gonna be stuck like this until those contracts go up and they go out. And it's just he paid them and it's suffering now because like you just gotta keep playing with these teams. Even Terry Rozier, he's overpaid. $18 million for Terry Rozier. Nobody was gonna pay him that. You didn't have to pay him that. But I guess Michael Jordan seen something in him that he's like, oh yeah, I gotta get him. But he's been playing decent this year, so I can't hate on that. I just feel like they need those contracts to expire. Them contracts is holding them players back, man. And Malik Monk, he needs to show up. I like Malik Monk. I feel like he can be a great bench player. Like he can be a Lou Williams in a sense, but he just inconsistent sometimes. So you can't say he's like Lou Williams because Lou Williams is a consistent bucket. He gets his every game. So Malik Monk needs to be more consistent, and he'll get more playing time in front of other people that's ahead of him. It'd be like Cody Martin ahead of him. You're like, why the hell is Cody Martin ahead of him? Because he plays defense and he knows his role. Malik Monk tried to do too much. He's too inconsistent, so you got to take him out. But next, I'm going to talk about the Wizards. Hold on, let me get my charger. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the Wizards right now. So I feel like they're rushing. I keep hearing reports about them trading Bradley Beal, and I'm really confused. Because Bradley Beal is entering that superstardom. Like this year, he's taking off. Without John Wall, you see his leadership coming up, his scoring coming up, and then you put John Wall next to him. I feel like that backcourt, when they come back, if John Wall says he's 110% better than he ever been, like he said, and when they come back, that backcourt is going to be unstoppable. Bradley Beal dropped 50 twice, and they lost. But, like, this man is an automatic bucket, man. He's crazy. So, I feel like they're rushing because they got good pieces that they can put beside them. And Rui Hachimura and Thomas Bryant, Davis Bertans, they bet not let him go. Him and John Wall in that pick and roll will also be nasty. John Wall with the mid-range shooting, and then he can either kick it out to Bertans or slide to the three. That's a bucket. And then you got Thomas Bryant, Maurice Wagner off the bench with Troy Brown. And this team needs that like bench scorer next year. Let's say they roll out a lineup of John Wall, Bradley Beal, Rui Hachimura, and Obi Toppin with that lottery pick that they're going to have. And Thomas Brown. I feel like that team can make it really deep in the East. They're going to have to face the Bucks, the Bucks, the Raptors, Celtics, but like that team will be in that upper echelon of the Eastern teams because they'll be so deep. Because then you'll have a Maurice Wagner off the bench with a Troy Brown off the bench, and I wish they would have kept Isaiah Thomas. He would have been a great bench player for them. But that was Bertans off the bench. Like this team can really do something, but they're rushing and engaging in these trade talks with Bradley Beal when they should just wait on and see how this first season with John Wall back takes them, because I feel like they can be nasty if they do good on that draft pick. They get the right player who contributes, knows his role, and knows what he has to do when he enters that team. And like John Wall said, they need more dogs. They need more players that want it, because you can see them young players. Some of them don't want it. Rui, he wants it. He wants to get better. You can see in Rui, like every game I watch of him, Rui's nasty. Mid-range killer, he's nasty. I like Rui Hachimura a lot. I just feel like when John Wall come back, this team can be in the Eastern Conference Finals easily. I just feel like the owner of this team, you got to be patient. I wouldn't trade Bradley Beal. He signed an extension. He wants to be there. He says it a lot. He wants to be there. Just don't get bribed in these trades, man. Just keep them and let it ride out next year. But next thing I'm going to talk about is the Heat. Now, the Heat, to me, they're a contender, but you know they're not contending for shit. They can contend, but I feel like how young they are, that's going to get in the way. They don't really have playoff experience like that. They have it in Jimmy Butler, Iguodala, and I want to say Jay Crowder, and that's it. Oh, Kelly Olynyk, but that's it. And then the rest is just young players. They just meshing together. They've been to the playoffs before, but their role is not increased as it is now. Like Bam Adebayo He was on the bench last year. Now he's an all-star this year. You got young guards and Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, who just they're getting into their own self this year, but they gotta have that playoff experience. So you don't know how they're gonna play in the playoffs, but you have a great leader in Jimmy Butler who's gonna rally them up, and if they don't show up, he will show up. I feel like even though Jimmy Butler doesn't drop his consistent 20 like he used to, if he's in the playoffs and his young guys are not playing like they're supposed to, Jimmy Butler will take over that game. I've seen it plenty of times from him. And some people I don't know if he can still do that. Jimmy Butler can do that if he wants to. He just hasn't. He's a great leader. He took a back step, and he's letting his young guys lead that team. Even though he's the leader of that team, he's letting his young guys grow, which a lot of veterans need to do these days. You need to let your young guys grow and notice that it's not your time no more. Jimmy Butler is still a top 15 player in his league, but he understands Bam has to grow, Tyler has to grow, Kendrick has to grow, Derrick Jones has to grow, Duncan has to grow for them to be successful. So I just feel like this team can be nasty. They just got to get that experience. They got great bench pieces in Goran Dragic, Iguodala, Jay Crowder. Like I said earlier, Tyler Hero comes off the bench. He's an automatic bucket off the bench. You got Kelly Olynyk off the bench. Like, this team is so deep, it's hard to plan for them. But in some sense, they could be inconsistent. On the road, they are inconsistent as hell on the road. So you just got to get these young players together, help them mesh together, and it'll be great. Next, I'm going to talk about the Knicks. Knicks, they have no direction. They really don't. Signing old players when they have young players in the same position, signing them to long-term deals for no reason, it just doesn't make sense. But they have no direction. I feel like the only thing they can do is don't re-sign none of these old guys back. Let your young guys grow. Draft LaMelo Ball. Let him run this season with RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox, and Mitchell Robinson and them. Just let them run the season. Let them young guys grow while they're on. Sign some veteran pieces, but don't sign those veteran pieces that gets in the way of this development of these young players. And I feel like they got to trade Julius Randle. I just don't feel like he should be on this team no more. It doesn't mesh together. He should be on a team like, I feel like he'll be real good on Utah. They need that big forward, and like he also tried to play that point forward role when he's not like that. He does crazy stuff all the time. But like, I'm looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he doesn't know what he's doing sometimes. So I just feel like you just got to draft well, preferably get LaMelo Ball, let this team run, and this team just let them develop. Next, I'm talking about the Bulls. The Bulls start with, they're in a rebuilding position. They have to fire their coach. The coach is holding everybody back. Nobody likes the coach. I just seen a thing the other day. Lauri Markkanen was asking for more touches, and he said Jim Boylen just told him, just go to the three and be ready for the ball. That's not what Lauri Markkanen is. He can shoot the three. Don't get me wrong, he can shoot the three. But Lauri Markkanen was supposed to be the next Dirk, everybody was saying. And he showed it his first season. Like, he was nasty, fadeaway shots and everything. He was post-up game was crazy. And he got stronger, so, like, it's better. But he's not getting that opportunity. They just don't feed him the ball. He gets no plays for himself. Like, it's dumb the way Jim Boylen coaches. You're calling the timeout. Your team's down by 10. You're calling the timeout 10 seconds out. Zach LaVine looked at him and said, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he's a terrible coach. He's a terrible coach. He doesn't understand. He's getting in the way of these players, man. These players do not like him. Like, that's why everybody wants Zach LaVine out. Every fan hates that Zach LaVine's on the Bulls because, like, he's holding Zach LaVine back. Zach LaVine can't even fucking win because you don't know how to coach. You have the talent. They have some of the best young talent in the league. Zach LaVine, Kobe White, Lauri Markkanen, Wendell Carter. Like, this young talent right here is real good. But they can't do nothing because his coach is holding him back. Like, he needs to be fired for this team to rebuild and get where they want to be at. So, I don't know with them, man. They need Jim Boylen out of the office, man. He's holding everybody back. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the Celtics. Now, this year, when the Celtics signed Kemba, I was confused because I was like, Kemba is just like Kyrie. He's going to get his buckets no matter what. And you've seen Kyrie didn't work split Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. He just held them back. I was completely wrong. You can argue that Kyrie. I'm sorry. You can argue that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are better than Kemba now, cause he took a back step. He's also like a Jimmy Butler. He took a back step, but when them dudes are off, he's gonna get his. But you can argue that Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum are better than Kemba Walker because they just entered that stardom so quickly. They showed what we seen in the, I want to say, 2018 playoffs. It wasn't fake. They showed Jason Tatum out here averaging 22, I think. And then in June, he was averaging 30. Jaylen Brown is also averaging 20. Great defense. Both of them have great defense. You can't find a team. You can't find two young guys averaging 20. Great defense and great leaders at this young age is hard to find. So the Celtics, they're in a perfect position to win for a long time. To keep everybody together. Get a big man. I like Daniel Theis. He's really good at when you need him to score. You just dish the ball off to him. He can score if you want to. He's really good on transition. He's actually really underrated on defense. Daniel Theis can bang on defense. He's real good on defense. But he's not that center that they need. They need a dominant center. Like, they need a DeMarcus Cousins. If they had DeMarcus Cousins, that team, that's a contender. Even though they're a contender right now, you can say they're a contender. They're just not deep enough. Their bench is like trash. I want to say Marcus Smart, he's not trash. Marcus Smart is a really good player. Really good defensive player, leader of that team. He knows his role. Even though he wanted to start, he understands that you got to let Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum grow. But now they move Jason Tatum to the 4 and Jaylen Brown to the 3, so sometimes he does start, or it's Gordon Hayward. And also, they have Gordon Hayward, where when his young players he was starting off, I'm sorry to cut off, but he was starting off averaging 20 this season. Like, we was getting the old Gordon Hayward back, and fucking broke his hand. Like, this man can't win. But, like, we all know Gordon Hayward, when he wants to, he can go get his. He's one of those. Like, he's really good, but like, since he got hurt, you just don't hear about him no more. And it sucks, man. It sucks. And everybody think he's overpaid. I mean, he is overpaid, but that's because the injury just holding him back, man. He can't get away from the injuries. It sucks for him. But if this team can get a dominant big man, this team will be a contender for I don't know how long. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, with Marcus Smart. Just a great guard. Marcus Smart's really underrated as far as passing, defense. He's arguably the best defender in the league, and he can guard. I don't want to say 1 through 4, but I've seen him guard some 4s. But he can guard 1 through 3, and they will have trouble with him. He's so pesty, and he gives up effort. It's not only skill, but it's effort with him. Effort in diving for balls, just doing stuff that a lot of players want to do. You hate to play against a guy like him, but you would love him if he's on your team. So I just feel like this team, they're going to be scary for a long time. But speaking of Kyrie, let's talk about the Nets. Now the Nets got Kyrie and my favorite player in the league today, KD. I feel like with the Nets, they just need a third star. And preferably, I'd rather that third star be a big man. I don't feel like it should be a guard or a 2 or a forward. I feel like if they had a big man, like let's say Joel Embiid, we just talking about it. Joel Embiid, they lose in the 76ers lose in the second round. You offer them Jarrett Allen, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, and let's say a first round pick. I don't think they would say no. I think they would give you Joel Embiid for him, because they obviously see it's not working. And that's the perfect person they would need. They would need that dominant big man on the Nets. They would need that dominant big man, like I said, for the Celtics. They need a person that can play off ball, but then when you put Kyrie and KD on the bench, he's gonna get his. And plays great defense down low. Even though they got Jarrett Allen, we can already see what Jarrett Allen's gonna do in his career, just like his veteran on his team. He's just going to be just like DeAndre Jordan, that lob finisher, that blocker. But he foul trouble every game. He gets in foul trouble every game because he goes for every block, and I commend him for that. He goes for every block. getting foul trouble every game. But he's a good player. But I just feel like they need that dominant big man, that big three, and that team would be scary. That team, it's already scary because how deep they are. But I think you got to trade some of that depth and capitalize on a big man. That's what they need to me. Next, I'm gonna talk about the Magic. Now the Magic, they have no direction because they feel like they go to the playoffs every year, just go to 8th seed and get swept. And I feel like that's really stupid, man. That's like, yeah, you have playoff talent. Like they should go to the playoffs every year, but like, y'all obviously not doing nothing. Y'all just being consistently at 8th seed just to get knocked out in the last round. I mean, in the first round. Sorry, get knocked out in the first round. So I feel like you should just go into rebuilding stage. You drafted a center in the eighth pick when you had an all-star center already. Like I feel like this offense, they don't know what they're doing, what they want to do. I feel like to me, you just gotta capitalize on that 8th pick. You gotta trade Vucevic, start Mo Bamba, let him grow with Markelle, John Isaac, arguably one of the best defenders in the league. I really like John Isaac. If John Isaac gets the offense game to match his defensive game, unstoppable. Because he was averaging 12, 8, and 2 and 2. 2 steals, 2 blocks. If he gets that 12 to 18, 2 steals, 2 blocks, all-star automatically one of the best players in the world. Because on defense, he can guard anybody. 1 through 5, he can guard anybody. Elite, he can guard anybody 1 through 5. And it's just so disgusting with him. He just got to get that offensive game going. But you can see flashes where he's starting to understand basketball more. I was really high on Jonathan Isaac coming out of Florida State. People used to be like, yo, he's not going to be nice. I used to think he was going to be KD. I was obviously wrong. But he's long like KD. And his long contributed to his defense. Pause. Him being long contributed to him on defense. So I feel like he can be a force to be reckoned with if he gets that offensive game together. But back to the Magic, they need to trade their old pieces. Terrence Ross, Vucevic, DJ Augustine, Evan Fournier. You just gotta let them go. Let this young team grow, and embrace the rebuild mode. You gotta let Markelle play. He's in a running for most improved player. You can see that. All right, this is why he's picked number 1. Great defender, great on transition. He just got to get that shooting down, but his offense is there. His offense, you can see flashes like, yeah, his offense is there. So, and you got to let Mo Bamba play. He just say he got 28 pounds of muscle. Let us see. Let him play. You not let him play, so everybody's gonna call him a bust. Well, it's not fair to him when he's getting fucking 15 minutes a game because you got an all-star center that you got to give him his full 35 minutes. And it's not fair to Mo Bamba at all. And last for this Magic team, you got to get rid of Aaron Gordon. I know he got talent. I know he can go out there and give you an 18, 8, and 5. I seen playmaking from Aaron Gordon, and I was like, yeah, he can be really good as like a point forward. But Magic is not. It's not the team for him. It's not the team. It's just proving that it's not working out. You got him playing the 4 when that's John Isaac's main spot, and you got him playing the 3. I say you get rid of Aaron Gordon, put John Isaac at the 4, and I feel like the best part for John Isaac to go, Aaron Gordon to go, I feel like him on Minnesota would be really great. Him next to Karl Anthony Towns, I like that. They missing defense, but like I seen Aaron Gordon put the effort in defense, and like it's been like, all right, yeah, he can play this position. But if you put him on the Minnesota Timberwolves, I feel like they can do something with him, D'Lo, Karl Anthony Towns, grow Jarrett Culver. But I'll talk about that later. But yeah, with this Magic team, you just gotta trade these old pieces, let the young talent grow, embrace the rebuild mode, and just go from there. Alright, the Raptors, to me, they're a contender, but I don't know how. Pascal Siakam, all-star, I get that. 24 per game score. 2 years ago, he was averaging 4 points. I don't know how they developed these guys in Toronto. They do a great job at it. You got Norman Powell averaging 16 points. I don't know what he averaged 2 years ago, so I'm not going to say anything. That would be a lie. But he wasn't this Norman Powell. I remember Norman Powell 2 years ago because he had one dunk against LeBron in the Cavs. And like, he took off so far. I was like, oh, he got hops. He got more than that now. He can score and play defense. He's all around. Fred VanVleet, a year ago, we seen that, all right, this dude is starting to get into his own. He was undrafted. And now you can say, all right, Fred, he can be a lead point guard on any team. Well, I'm not going to say any team because a lot of teams have their point guard. I'm just saying he can be a lead point guard. And we've seen flashes for him where he can play defense. He's 6'1". Plays defense great. Him and Kyle Lowry. I love Kyle Lowry. I feel like Kyle Lowry is really underrated because he's not that dude that can go give you 20 points. And, like, that's how people view the NBA these days. If you don't get 20 points, oh, you're ass. You're trash. But Kyle Lowry will give you 18 points, 7 assists, 2 steals, and be the leader of your team and take you far in the playoff, which he's shown he could do for years. He just never got to the finals until last year, where when they needed him in the last game of that finals, nigga had 20 points in the first fucking quarter. Like, Kyle Lowry can hoop. He's just not liked by fans, and I get confused by that sometimes. But then this team has so much depth. You got Terrence Davis. Where the hell did he come from? I know he came from Ole Miss, but like, he's undrafted, and like now he's making people look stupid. Like, he should have won the first round. Sorry, he should have won the first round. Like, this dude plays defense. He scores off the bench. Chris Boucher, he was on the Warriors, I remember, and he was on the G League. He never played with the Warriors, but he got that championship ring though, so he's 2-time champion. I just figured that out a couple days ago when I was doing my research for this podcast. But he's a long center off the bench. Can shoot the three, play defense, transition game. He can run with you, runs the floor. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, Serge Ibaka. They can score when you need them to score. Serge Ibaka can go give you 20 points anytime if you need him. I've seen games where everybody's inconsistent, but Serge's still there. 20 points, 10 rebounds, a couple blocks. Gives you that energy. He gives you that leadership along with Kyle Lowry. You got Marc Gasol, but Marc Gasol hasn't really been playing, so I can't say nothing about them. But like, this team is so deep, so well-rounded. Then you have arguably the best coach in the league. Like, this team, I don't understand how they always a contender. They're always a contender. It always works for them. Always works for them. But I love this team, man. I love this team. This team's crazy to me. This team is crazy to me. Next, I'm going to talk about the Pacers. The Pacers didn't have their leader all year. Vio came back in like February, I want to say. And then the league was cut off a month after that, so we don't know. But they didn't have their leader all year, and they were a 6 seed. You're like, how the fuck did that happen? Domantas Sabonis, to me, after Jrue Holiday, is the most underrated player in the league. Domantas Sabonis doesn't get a lot of looks at all. A big man that is a constant double-double. It's constant. A constant double-double, and it also can give you 5 assists. If he gets his defense together, perfect basketball player. Perfect power forward for that team. Domantas Sabonis is so underrated to me. He's I love Domantas Sabonis. I remember him on the Thunder. Everybody was like, I don't know, this kid's not that good. He wasn't that good. And I guess he just needed somebody to get hurt and just take that leadership role, the main role, and just do his thing. He's been doing his thing, an all-star, first-time all-star. And there's many more coming for him. But this team, they're well-rounded too. They got defense and scoring. Hopefully Vio comes back like we know, the most improved player Vio. And hopefully Miles Turner gets better. But like, I'm starting to think like, Miles Turner is who he is. He's going to be that 12-point scorer, 7 rebounder. Give you 3 blocks, though. He'll give you 3 blocks. And he'll be a force to be reckoned with in the paint. So I'm not going to keep asking him, all right, we got to get Miles Turner better. Because I'm starting to realize, like, he is who he is now. He is who he is. He is who he's gonna be. They got Malcolm Brogdon. I feel like that was a great pickup. I think they only traded him for a second round pick. The fuck, but that was a great pickup. He can score. He can assist the ball. He's been inconsistent this year though. He's normally 50, 40, 90. He's been inconsistent, but I knew that was coming because he had a bigger role with VO being out, and he was only behind Domantas Sabonis, but he's been really inconsistent. But we know Malcolm Brogdon. We know he's one of the most consistent players in the league. So we know that's not going to be for long. But I really like this team too. The East is really deep. I feel like they're underrated. It's a lot of contenders in the East to me. The Pacers are not a contender. I'm not going to say that. They need that 3. Oh, I forgot to talk about TJ Warren. A constant bucket. He's a bucket. He's underrated too. But he's not up there. He's a bucket. TJ Warren is nice. I like TJ Warren. But he's not that 3 they need though. I haven't seen TJ Warren in the playoffs, so I don't know what he would do in the playoffs. I can't wait till the NBA to come back to see this team. But this team is wherever VO and Domantas Sabonis takes them. That's where they can go. They can be really good in the East. There's a lot of teams in the East I like. And the last team I'm going to talk about is the Hawks. Now with the Hawks, they have arguably top 5 point guard in the league, sophomore, all-star starter, 30 points per game, 9 assists, Trae Young, nasty. Now me, I wasn't as high on Trae Young last year. That's because I was a Colin Sexton fan, and they were also they always go together. Like when they would play the McDonald's game, Ballers Lives game, they used to always go together. So I didn't like Trae Young. But then I watched him this year, and this dude's crazy. 6'1", destroying the league every game, and I'm like, this man's crazy. Trae Young, he's the top 20 player in this league already. Him and Luka. Is it the Hawks? They could have went either way. Luka, Trae Young, they wouldn't have been wrong. They got it, man. Trae Young is an up and coming superstar. He has John Collins next to him, who is really underrated. Really underrated. I know I said that a lot this video, but it's a lot of people that's really underrated. John Collins is underrated. I didn't know John Collins was averaging 20 and 10 this year. I didn't know that shit until I did my research and I started watching some videos of John Collins. John Collins is nasty. He's that perfect pick and roll player that you can put next to Trae Young, who can roll and shoot the 3, 40% from the 3. As a big man, that's really good. He can shoot the 3. He's a great lob finisher. He has hops, crazy hops. He's a great lob finisher for Trae Young. He just needs to get that defensive game up, so they can start putting him at the 5 and play that small ball. That's what they need from him. He needs to be a reckon with defense. He needs to be nice with defense. But this team has so much young talent, so much depth. They just got Clint Capella. When he's healthy, he's a good 16 and 12 guy, a couple blocks. He can stick some of the best defenders in the league. Best centers in the league. So, and he's a great lob finisher, so you can put him in the pick and roll with Trae Young too. Then they have the depth in wings with Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter, however you say that name, DeAndre Brimley. They're young. This team is really young. The oldest player on the team is the oldest player in the league, Vince Carter. But that's it. This team is really young. So I just feel like just let this young talent grow. This young talent can grow. I feel like this team will be in the playoffs next year. I feel like it. And Larry Drew, I don't know if he's a coach for that team, but I'm not gonna say nothing about that. I don't know. I don't know how he is as a coach, but the players seem to like him. So I feel like this team could be in the playoffs next year. They're just so deep in young talent. Their young talent is crazy. But that's all the teams from the East this week. So this is my first podcast, so you can obviously see I didn't have this app that I'm on. I'm on OBS Studio. I don't have this app figured out yet. I don't know how to pause it to where I can go take a break, get some water. So you see me stuttering a lot, taking the low deep breaths a lot. But I'm gonna learn that soon. And I hope you guys like this podcast. I'm gonna put it on YouTube soon, and I don't know. I always wanted to talk about sports. I love sports. My dad brought me into sports when I was young. He always put me in front of the TV when he's watching sports. I just watch it with him, and I love it. I love talking about sports. I want to go to school for sports broadcasting. I was gonna go to a school. I was supposed to be in Full Sail University, but that shit is expensive. That shit is expensive. So, but I love sports though. I hope that my dream job is to be a sports broadcaster. So I hope that this takes me somewhere. And this is only the beginning. I just hope that people just be patient with me and just keep watching my stuff, cause I'm only gonna get better from there. But that's all. That's it for this first episode of Behind the Lines. I just want to say thank you for everybody that showed up, and